Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Family Sedan channel. Here's a headline from the Crypto Basic. XRP going to $3 as chartist draws parallels to 2017 patterns. Now, this is covering perspective from a very well-known XRP community member who does technical analysis, and he is most famous for having called the biggest bull run in XRP history at roughly the middle of December of 2017, which led XRP to an all-time high of close to $4. And he also called the very top of that a couple weeks, I guess it ran for, 2.5 weeks or so. And he called that as well. And I've covered his perspective on the channel on and off for several years at this point. The only reason I don't regularly cover him is because he's not regularly talking about price action of XRP. But I'll tell you this, given his background for calling that, I'll just say when he speaks, I'm going to pay attention here. So I'm going to share with you his perspective. But he thinks conservatively what we'll be seeing is roughly $3 XRP. But, given that we're in bull territory, and if we get positive news regarding the SEC Ripple case, he acknowledges that it could be way, way, way higher than that. So it sounds like potentially he's thinking even new all-time highs. Now, this is all happening against the backdrop of very scary news, apparently. I mean, it doesn't scare me, but look at the headline from CNBC. JP Morgan Chase takes over First Republic after biggest U.S. bank failure since 2008. So for those of you that have been tracking this, yes, the bank absolutely has failed, and its assets have been taken over by JP Morgan, and there's concern that more banks will be found to be insolvent and collapsing and bank runs, this and that. I'm not saying that I buy into some sort of situation that would result in nationwide mass hysteria. I'm just sharing with you what some people are saying. And then there's also this headline from the Daily Hodl: crypto will outperform gold, real estate, and stocks as central bank currency debasement accelerates. And they're sharing perspective from Raoul Pal, who is an XRP holder, former Goldman Sachs executive. And back around the time that XRP was about $1, I remember him saying that he thought from that level, especially if you get regulatory clarity with the SEC Ripple case, which is what he's counting on. It's part of his analysis when he purchased XRP. He's publicly stated that he was talking about from the $1 level a 10-fold increase. So he certainly believes in the idea of XRP potentially hitting that $10 price level. So anyway, plenty to share and unpack. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I'm not offering financial advice. And you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, so into this first piece now. And the analyst is Harry. He is at Geraldo XRP, all up on the Twitters. Piece reads as follows. According to Harry, XRP has seen the end of its bearish correction period and is now set on a path that could hit the highs witnessed in 2017. XRP may be on the verge of a breakout similar to what was observed in 2017 as Harry, a notable community chartist, recently called attention to a pattern observed in XRP price movements. According to Harry, this same pattern played out back in 2017, and its repetition this year could see XRP hit the $3 price target again. So indeed, folks, and he literally stated, this is like December of 2017 all over again. He literally said it's on the tweet that's on your screen right here. He doesn't normally speak like that. So again, that's why I said a minute ago, when he says stuff like that, I'm going to pay attention. Piece continues. Harry conducted this analysis while considering the XRP chart on a monthly time frame. Per data from the chart, XRP registered an impressive surge in February 2016, hitting a high of 10 cents before facing a correction that saw it close that month for 0.0081 cents, so less than a penny. Harry called this surge Wave 1, while he termed the correction period Wave 2. As part of the Wave 2 period, XRP faced a bearish consolidation for 12 months. XRP then staged a rally that extended for 3 months, leading to a compounded gain of 773%, as XRP rose to a high of 43 cents in May 2017. Harry dubbed the period of the rally Wave 3. And so that's before I was in crypto. I jumped into crypto November 2017, and after XRP had that monstrous rally, because I remember not long before that, it was, XRP was half a penny, quite literally. Then went from that all the way up to 43 cents and then cratered back on down. I don't remember exactly how low it got, but by the time I jumped in November, It was mostly hovering around, if memory serves, around the 20 cent region. And I think it was either 20 or 21 cents, I believe, is what I paid the first time I ever purchased XRP in November of 2017. So it looked like it was collapsing, and then it looked like it wasn't doing much for like half a year, and then it melted faces. XRP from the bottom to the top of the rally ended up, I kid you not, rallying in terms of percentages. It's close to 80,000% from the bottom to the top. And for the calendar year of 2017, it was about 30,000%. So big, no matter how you want to slice and dice that. Piece continues. The veteran chartist pointed out that this pattern is currently repeating itself. Notably, Wave 1, which marked the initial price surge, started in April 2020, leading to a surge to $1.96 in April 2021. Following the surge, XRP faced a series of bearish corrections tagged A, B, and C on the chart. This correction marked Wave 2. The Wave 2 correction slowed down in June 2022, having battered XRP to a low of 33 cents. By the way, I'll just say, I remember seeing XRP as low as like 28 cents. So I know they reported 33 cents here. I think it technically went a little bit lower there. But it was interesting that that's when the low happened for XRP, and then even after FTX collapsed, it didn't revisit those levels. Just found it fascinating. Piece continues. The correction paved the way for consolidation between 33 cents and 58 cents. However, taking certain market behaviors into account, Harry opined that Wave 3 is about to begin. And I'll just pause and note, even if we do see in the very short term a move to the downside, because I'm following perspective from all sorts of different chart analysts, including the blockchain backer, he thinks that it's pretty reasonable to suppose that perhaps XRP will dip back into the lower 40-something cent range, perhaps into the 30s. And he said that's the area where he's personally, on a personal level, interested in accumulation. So even if that happens, my stance is the same no matter what. At some point in the future, XRP is going to hit a new all-time high in enterprise discovery. So I don't pretend to know when that's going to happen, and there's no way to know for sure if that's going to happen. So, I place my bet though. I think it's going to happen. It'd be weird to me if it's not. And you just continue to see increased adoption and utility of XRP, and the crypto asset class clearly isn't going away. So what the hell do you think is going to happen if we just let enough time pass? So I'll just continue to be patient. But anyway, piece continues. He pointed out that XRP has used April to sustain the gains made in March. The asset is looking to retain these gains so as to leverage the price point as support for a rally in May. Harry noted that these patterns are typical of bullish formations, asserting that when Wave 3 begins, it could last for a long time, ultimately resulting in a $3 price point. According to him, the emergence of such positive reports surrounding the broader crypto market or XRP could trigger further extension of Wave 3. One such report is favorable ruling in the Ripple v. SEC case. I don't know why they keep writing it backwards. It's SEC v. Ripple case, but that's what they wrote. And so here, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but if you want to look at the chart and see exactly how Harry worded all this, it's on the screen right there. But he's just noting that it's December 2017 all over again. Again, folks, if he said stuff like that all the time, then maybe I wouldn't be interested in paying attention, but he was right when he said it in 2017, and he just never talks like this. And in fact, taking it a step further, the call that made him most famous within the XRP community in the middle of December 2017, when he said, hey, something along the lines of make way for moon, XRP's about to go. That was his pinned tweet until recently. So he had that tweet pinned for like half a decade. He just replaced it with this on Twitter. It's at the top of his profile here. So that just tells me that he feels highly confident in his perspective on this. So again, that's why I want to take the time to go through his specific thoughts on this. And plus, it wasn't terribly too TA heavy, because I on the channel I tend to try and stay away from getting into the the mechanics of particular technical analysis, because I find it just in a general sense incredibly boring. I think that the typical person out there also finds it boring and doesn't understand all of the formation. And I don't care. I don't want to learn. I have no interest in learning that. But that's why I try and stay away from that. And plus, there are channels out there where if you actually are interested in the TA stuff, which is fine, to each their own. There's all sorts of channels out there like the blockchain backers who will literally go in and just break everything down in incredible detail. But for someone like me, and I think for most people, that's what's perhaps most interesting, just most interesting is just kind of get the idea of where these analysts think things are going. So I try and stay out of the weeds as much as possible. And really, I think that article did a good job breaking it down without getting, in anything overly technical anyway. But this is against a backdrop of, bank failures and financial uncertainty. But to me, this represents opportunity. But still, I just wanted to briefly touch on this. Here's a headline from CNBC. JP Morgan Chase takes over First Republic after biggest U.S. bank failure since 2008. Regulators took possession of First Republic Bank on Monday, resulting in the third failure of an American bank since March, after a last-ditch effort to persuade rival lenders to keep the ailing bank afloat. Failed. JP Morgan Chase, already the largest U.S. bank by several measures, emerged as winner of the weekend auction for First Republic. It will get all of the ailing bank's deposits and a substantial majority of assets, the New York-based bank said. The seizure of First Republic resulted in the biggest bank failure since the 2008 financial crisis, when Washington Mutual imploded. Back then, it was also JP Morgan that won the failed bank's assets. So, folks, we knew that something along these lines would happen. We didn't know for sure, that it would be JP Morgan, of course. But it is interesting to see that even in the face of this, you're not seeing, additional, scaredness, market participants. Like, the market participants are not spooked by this. It's just so interesting because you remember a couple months ago when those banks were collapsing, scared the hell out of markets. And now it's just like, I guess we're used to banks failing. So whatever, man. And then there's this. And folks, I'm telling you, when it comes to investing, and I've been saying this since I jumped into crypto, I still firmly believe it's true. It's true. It definitely true. I firmly believe this is true, that, the most opportunity available is in the crypto asset class. There is no other place where you can invest realistically and get anything near what is possible in crypto. It's still true. And I think over the next decade, and I said it in 2017, I'm saying it now in 2023, for the next decade, crypto is going to be the place where the greatest returns are made. Now, it's also highly risky. I'm not pretending that it's not. And there will be a lot of people that lose everything if they make poor decisions or respond with emotions, this and that. But damn, the opportunity is there. There's just never been anything like this in the history of our species for the everyday man to accumulate life-changing wealth like this. It's just, and again, yes, the risk is there, big risk, but wow, it's possible. And so, I place my bets. But so this article, it's covering perspective from Raoul Pal, who is pro XRP. He holds XRP, can see it getting up to over $10. He's articulated that. And so the headline here again, the Daily Hodl: crypto will outperform gold, real estate, and stocks as central bank currency debasement accelerates. Former Goldman Sachs executive Raoul Pal says that crypto is about to outrun virtually all other asset classes alongside the continuation of long-term currency debasement. Paul tells his nearly 1 million Twitter followers that following the collapse of First Republic Bank, it appears as if the U.S. will move into another chapter of money printing to be able to service its massive debt. The Real Vision founder warns that most people won't be able to avoid the negative effects of currency debasement by hoping for pay raises or being smart about saving. Quote, the outcome is that the debt payments and bailouts are really mutualized amongst the 99%, while the 1% asset holders see the value of their assets rise due to the fall in the denominator. Incomes are not linked to the balance sheet, nor are revenues. They underperform. Do nothing and get poor. After all, an asset is future deferred consumption. Thus, if you own less assets, your future self is poor, end quote. Yeah, so to put it bluntly, holding fiat currency bad, and I understand, like, we all need to have a certain amount just to make sure we've got expenses covered. And it's good to be liquid in case there's an emergency. And so I think most of us adults out there, we just understand that we need to have a certain amount, just safety precaution. Understanding that inflation's eating into that, and it just is what it is. But if you've invested well and you're diversified, then the fact that your dollars are becoming worth less with each passing day, it's more than offset by the fact that perhaps you're in crypto or a long-term holder of stocks just in general. Those things can more than offset that fact. But it certainly is true that the poorest among us tend to not have such investments. And so they're just going to get even poorer because they're just holding dollars. Piece continues. Paul says high-quality crypto and tech stocks are the only assets that will have the ability to outrun his predicted currency debasement. Quote, only two assets outperform this debasement, tech stocks and high-quality crypto. Crypto has by far the highest beta to the global central bank balance sheets. Not real estate, not gold, not SPX, which of course is the S&P 500, not bond yields, not emerging market equities, not credit. They all perform in line with the central bank balance sheets or underperform. This insidious mutualization of debt is a game you can opt out of. Bitcoin was literally invented for this, and due to its fractionalization is available to anyone. Ethereum even offers you a yield on top, end quote. Yeah, so I think that's true of crypto in general. He's citing Bitcoin and Ethereum specifically. I know he's pro-Bitcoin as well, and I believe he's publicly stated that Ethereum is his largest crypto holding. So not surprised that he's mentioned that there, but he does hold a bit of XRP. He's made that bet as well. So it's going to be exciting seeing what's coming up here. So even if we do see a bit of a move to the downside, which is certainly possible in the short term, that's not something that it sounds like Harry thinks would invalidate everything that I just covered from there. He still thinks that the answer is yes. Conservatively, XRP is going to $3, and we are in a bull market now. We saw the bottom, right? I think most of us would agree on that. So he's thinking, again, conservatively $3, but with the bull market being what it is, and perhaps if we get some really positive XRP news regarding the SEC v. Ripple case, could go much, much, much higher. That's what he's articulating he thinks makes sense, and that certainly doesn't sound crazy to me. So I don't pretend to know. I don't make price predictions. I'm not telling you to buy or sell anything, but that's the way that he's looking at it, and I'm just along for the ride, man. My entire investment thesis is that utility matters and will win the day if you look long term. But in the meantime, I'm just going to sit around and just continue to hold and do absolutely nothing. It's a good time. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Family Sedan.